Hello, you are listening to a track-by-track commentary of Dear God, I Hate Myself. This is Jamie Stewart from Shoo Shoo. I stole this idea from the Pet Shop Boys to do a track-by-track commentary. And in the Pet Shop Boys track-by-track commentary, they mention Owen Pallett of Final Fantasy, who I'm friends with. Hello, Owen. This first song, Grey Death, widely features Chess Smith on the timpani. We set the timpani up at the top of a stairwell in the house where I used to live. It was a pretty crappy house, a crappy track home house. A rental, thank goodness. And there it goes that said timpani. And I think it having been in the stairwell made it sound more star-like. Speaking of Chess, so Nels Cline of guitar fame at Chess's recent wedding, I asked him, Nels being a man of experience in this world, what I should be drinking. And he said that I should only drink clear alcohols. So, during this commentary, every 2 songs I'm going to take another drink. I've already had 1.5. I'm sure you can tell I sound a little squishy already. I'm pretty much of a lightweight when it comes to boozing it up. So by the end of this, I should be pretty incomprehensible. Myself a sopping wet towel of stupidity by that time, by the end. This song, being titled Grey Death, has a slightly amusing anecdote to go along with the title. The Shoo Shoo booking agent, Ryan Craven, a good friend and an excellent agent, an excellent friend, and a good agent. Both of those things are true. His son is named Gray, and I didn't think of this until after we had titled the song. So we changed the spelling from G-R-E-Y to G-R-A-Y, so as not to be incredibly creepy. Good luck in life, Gray. You're a good child. I sang songs at your preschool in 2 days. It was fun. Sip, sip. That was only 1 sip, though. The idea of... Oh my god, there's so much left in this glass. There's no way I can finish this before the end of this song. The idea of Sip Sip comes from Owen Ashworth of Casuton for the Painfully Alone, who I was with when I was the drunkest I've ever been in my entire life, which was in Atlanta, Georgia. I got terrible alcohol poisoning. And I puked. I was wearing a Casuton t-shirt and I puked all over the shirt, and I threw it on the porch of the house of the band that would become Black Lips. And then Owen washed the shirt and then sold it at the merch table, not because I had puked on it, but because it was one more shirt he could sell. Why not? And the person who watched over me in the bathtub, Kristen Killer, went on to become the tour manager for Deer Hunter. Because of her, I'm not dead. But merely incredibly dumb and incredibly ugly. This song is about body image and food and race and self-loathing, and then also just about chocolate. I have a lot more to drink here. Hold on. Oh god, oh, there's no way I can drink this much throughout this record. I'm gonna try though. Oh, I'm such a wuss. The chord changes for this song were inspired by a Gooey Barato song. I think it's really interesting to write songs that are just the same chords the entire song. I don't do it often enough, but this is an example of an attempt to do that, although I completely failed and there ends up being some more changes in it. Thank you, Gui, if that's even how you say your name. Gui. G-U-I. I would love to say that that's a real boys' choir, but that's a sample. Just so I could have had a boys' choir next to the word slavishness, I suppose. Greg Saunier mixed this beautifully. He's a wonderful man to work with. He said that little guitar lick sounded like the Grateful Dead, and which are probably my least favorite non-contemporary band. And he once said that a bass line that I did in a song on our 5th record, The Air Force, on the song Vulture Piano, sounded like Phil Lesh of the Grateful Dead also. Which makes me feel really bad about myself. But considering that this song is about self-loathing, then what am I to do except feel really bad about myself? So maybe in a roundabout way, the Grateful Dead thing is bound to happen. It's linked to the song. It's not an accident. Okay, I'm gonna press stop and finish this one drink I have, and then I guess horrifyingly pour another one. There was no end of name dropping during the last 2 songs. Sorry if that makes me seem a little gauche. So, while I was going to fix this other drink and drink a little bit more of the previous drink, I watched a little bit of South Park, which I didn't even realize is the origin of someone who's mentioned in this song, Butters of South Park. A complete and genuine coincidence. So, this song is about Butters of South Park, the aforementioned and famous imaginary friend and idol of yours truly, Jimmy. It is also about... Oh, that's Angela Saw singing Lula Luz. She has a friend whose name is Julie Lou, as long as I'm gonna motherfucking name drop. BAM! That was some more name dropping. It is about Butters of South Park and the Sanrio character, Pandapple. And it is about, as an adult man, being obsessed with the 2 cartoon characters of a child and a marsupial with an apple for a brain. Oh, I hope pandas are marsupials. That keyboard sound was from a keyboard called an Optigan, or Optigon. Never been certain. Which is this antiquated keyboard system, sort of an early sampler that records things on these flimsy plastic discs, which invariably become melted and warped. So they make sounds that are melted and warped with little or no effort beyond pressing a key. The weeping sound here, and I could get in trouble for saying this, is a slowed down and backwards sample from the film Double Suicide. That's Chess Smith playing some bass synth there. Unreal Moog. Not a sample. Not a soft synth. But a real one. But if you make an effort to, you can get onto an airplane without having to check it and have it be destroyed by baggage handlers. I was actually applying for a job as a baggage handler the day that my father committed suicide. That sucks. I didn't need to go there. I didn't finish my application though, because my sister called me while I was writing down my application. That flute sound is from an Optigan also. This song... Oh shoot, I need to take another drink. I put a frozen strawberry in my drink. That's pretty gay. But... c'est moi. It's ice jiggling. This song was a complete disaster. And very, 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 very late at night, Greg Saunier, who mixed the record, more or less completely rearranged it and changed everything. So, for the most part, anything in this song that sounds interesting and cool is at the hands of Greg, who... He and I guess we've been friends for 10 years. That's nice to think about. He, between the two of us, has the nickname of the Maestro, which he deserves. However, my nickname between the two of us is merely Stu. S-T-U. Which is all I deserve, I guess. Gregory. That's Gregory playing some bass right there. Do 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 do. Boo doo doo. That's a cool bass part. Nice job, Greg. Okay, you're the maestro. You win. You deserve it. I deserve Stu. The stars have aligned. Everything's right again. During this little breakdown, Greg said, "Oh, I like guitar." There it is. There you go, guitar. Not a ton of guitar in the forefront of Shoo Shoo songs. Live, I suppose, that's different. Oh, Richard Chase, gross serial killer in Sacramento. Completely insane. Who would go up to houses and if the door was locked, would not enter the house because he felt he was not invited, but if the door was open, would go into the house and murder the people inside. So lock your fucking door, buddy. Okay, off to make another drink. This, I think, is the first song that got written for this record that actually ended up on the record. I think there was probably 5 songs before this that just have winded up in the bin or the rubbish. It was peculiar working on this record because we knew we were going to have 2 years to do it, as our intrepid and wise label Kill Rockstars said we put out too many records and we should wait 2 years to put out our next one. So I think we recorded almost 25 songs or something, and it was interesting having almost an album's worth of records. I mean, an album's worth. Oh, the vodka. Thanks, Nels Klein. I didn't eat the strawberry though. It's still in the bottom. I guess it's not really a gay strawberry. I guess it's just a strawberry. Anyway, it's interesting having an album's worth of songs not go anywhere. I don't think they will ever go anywhere. That's a little bit of a nod to the Korean diaspora that exists in the Valley in Los Angeles. And then, obviously, of course, to the Shoo Shoo song, I Love the Valley, which is about, amongst other things, the Valley in Los Angeles. The twains have met. This song is, in addition to the subject matter, which I'm feeling too private to discuss right now, although I'm sure it's incredibly obvious. Lyrically, I shall drain my shunt. I shan't drain my shunt. Lyrically, I shall not discuss it this time. However, musically, it is a tribute to the Brazilian composer and songwriter Tom Zé, or Tom Z, insofar as emulating the way that he used really kind of inside major guitar sorts of harmonies with a lot of industrial and found sounds and an amalgam of monoclassical and tropicalia, wider timbres and harmonies. Chess-Smith frequently would giggle that the song ended on this particular chord. That in turn would make me chuckle. This is the title song, which you have already discerned if you can read. Which, unless you are Howlin' Wolf before the mid-60s, you probably are able to do. You started taking extension classes to learn how to read. And by the accounts of this particular biography that I'm reading right now, his bandmates were helpful with this, and that they would practice his lessons with him in the car while they were driving. The drum machine and synth sounds on this were done on a Game Boy, and the guitar is an homage to Tom Petty's guitar playing. The lyrics for this aren't they laughable? Laughably direct? It was one of those rare songs where the lyrics just poured out because it was happening at that exact moment and I could just write down everything that was occurring without having to analyze it or look into the back pages of some masterwork of literature and steal lines from it. I guess it probably is laughable. A little nod to I broke up from Knife Play there, lyrically. Lots of Pro Tools editing. That cymbal crash is actually a cymbal crash that is from the song Gail Lynn that was on Women as Lovers. I just put it on that at that point. It was such an effective cymbal crash. Why not give it an opportunity to live again? Compare the cymbal crash at the beginning of that break to the one I just made with my mouth. The one at that break is so much better, correct? Right? The frog sound. Again, on the DS10 by Game Boy. Oh, this is another DS10 by Game Boy song. Oh my gosh, it begins and ends with Mario and John Fante. Those first lines are more or less cribbed from Ask the Dust. Is that good or bad? That that Simple Crash, I believe, is also taken from Gail Lynn. So there's two songs in a row on this record that utilize samples from a song from our previous album. I guess on the previous album it wasn't a sample, it was an actual recording that sample our previous album and then use a toy essentially to make the music. Well, what could I do? Two sides of the same coin. That's the beeping sound is a stylophone, which is a toy also. It's not even a real stylophone, it's a toy stylophone. A real stylophone I think you can order from England for about $400, but a toy one you can order from Hong Kong for $18. I think the background vocals here are a little bit too quiet. But that's okay. I mean, the background vocals, I guess, technically should be in the background, right? As to why I'm not revealing the subject matter of this song, refer to the lyrics. Okay, I have to go make another drink. Oh, now I feel sort of disgusting being daft about taking another drink. This song is about sex trafficking. Some of the lines are taken directly from a book called The Modern Business of Slavery by Siddharth Kara, if I'm saying his last name correctly. The title, Falkland Road, is from an actual road in New Delhi, which is basically the red light district. And the majority of the sex workers there are underage girls from Nepal who frequently live their entire lives there. I'm wondering if I should even discuss the production at all. All things considered. I thought that if I boozed it up that the commentary would just be sort of more jovial and amusing, but I'm just feeling more and more grim. Usually I drink when I feel bad because it makes me feel better, but I was feeling fine before and now I just feel bad. Maybe I shouldn't drink when I feel fine. Well, that's not to bore you with my boorishness. The drum sounds are all inspired by Martin Hannett, who did the first couple OMD records and the Joy Division records and the first New Order record. Maybe the first two New Order records, I'm not sure. Chess Smith playing some cool vibraphone. The mastering engineer did not think that we used real vibraphone, but it is in fact a real vibraphone. But the strings are not real. Oh no! Those strings are real. Oh, I can't remember. That piano's real. I know that's motherfucking real. This song is named after Fabrizio Palumbo of Larson R, Blind Cave Salamander, and XXL. He lives in Torino, Italy. Changed my life. A delightful gentleman. Makes astounding music and makes you feel as if this oblong-shaped world, which attempts to crush you at every turn, does in fact have something beautiful beneath the moldy rocks that you step upon to get to the seaside on occasion. Greg, Sonia, and I could not come up with a title for this song when we were mixing it. The working title was Pino Pino, and Pino Pino came from the name of a band that, when I first moved to Northern California from Los Angeles, where I grew up, and apparently cannot get over, there was at this radio station at Stanford University called KZSU. I was one of the hangers-on of this college station and occasionally did some engineering there. And there was this, myself amongst numerous hangers-on, there was these two kids who had this band called Pino Pino, and they were really young. I mean, I was young at the time, but they were even younger than me. And I think I was amazed that there were kids that were that young that were actually cool, having been an incredible undereducated dork at the time. I think I ended up working at that station ever so briefly because at this community center across the park from my house, there was this band called Raggedy Ann playing, and I gave them a photograph of this kid in a Boy Scout uniform. On the back I wrote my telephone number so that I would record them if they wanted to record. And they thought the kid in the Boy Scout uniform was me, although it wasn't. It was some kid who was in my sister's class. Anyway, the band Raggedy Ann went on to be garage rock superstars, the Donnas. And I think I was the first person to have ever recorded them. I might be wrong, but I might be right. Anyway, they were good even then. Allison, the guitar player, was incredibly cool, even as a 10th grader, cool guitar player. Okay, shut up, Jim, and drink up. Ugh, I do not feel good. Too much, too soon. Too much, too soon. John Dietrich of Deerhoof played almost all of the music on this. I just played the banjo and sang. My uncle John Stewart was a notable songwriter and also has a banjo technique named after him called Stewarting. However, I'm a hack and have no idea what that could even possibly be. The song was written during the Civil War. Therefore, I suppose it falls heartily under public domain. John Dietrich played the quattro and the dobro on this, as well as the drums. Who knew? An interesting drummer. I recently, as of 2 minutes ago, looked up the age of consent and apparently the age of consent at the Vatican is 12. Those bell sounds are from a Waves plugin called The Enigma. It's kind of a wonderful plugin. Whatever sound you run through it, it makes it sound like a sort of detuned electro gamelan type of sound. Fred, Rick, Bree, Rupert, an old chum of mine, was going through numerous difficulties in his heart's existence. And we were talking about it at length on numerous occasions. Numerous. And the song is a tiny attempt to, I guess, perhaps, hope to let him know that as bad as life is, that the is of badness is not eternal. The Stephen, of course, is our old friend, Moz Mr. Morsudinus, Morsa Maximus. I texted him when I was writing the lyrics for this, double checking to see who his singer was, and I texted, "Who is your favorite singer?" And he said, "Who do you think? The Moz." Which was fortunate, because Stephen syllabically worked perfectly with the melody. A win for the ease of lyricism, over lyric seximus. The flutes. Oh my gosh, I can't believe in this entire commentary I have not mentioned the Immaculata Catholic School Orchestra. Those flutes are played by a combination high school and junior high class from Immaculata Catholic High School down the street from my class. All the real strings and all the real brass and all the real woodwinds are played by the students of Immaculata Catholic High School. Those horns, a little bit out of tune and a little bit out of time, beautifully so, wonderfully so, are all from those students. There was no way to give all of the students headphones of the song, so we just set up a click track, which the conductor listened to and then did the baton in time to the song. And Angela Saw, who wrote it, all of the music, and the students played along, and then we afterwards took all the sound files and imported them into the already recorded rhythm tracks, and then just lined it up. Incredibly primitive, incredibly clunky, but incredibly enjoyable to work with such spirited, clad Catholic young adults of North Carolina. I don't want to say what this song is about. This is Angela Saw. She played all the piano on this.
Jamie, we have to go get a milkshake. We have to go get a milkshake. Everyone's out getting a milkshake right now. Get one of 40 flavors. Stop rubbing the mic against my face. Can we go get a milkshake? Everyone's there already. What are you doing?
I don't drink milk.
Get one of... Let's go get a milkshake. 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 Milkshake.
This is the only song on this record that has real drums. Actually, we recorded these drums before I moved to Durr Hole
Milkshake!
in the kitchen where I lived in Oakland. And I have no idea why or how no one complained that we were recording Chess Smith playing a full drum set in an apartment building. But no one said anything.
Milkshake. 40 flavors. Milkshake, cookout, milkshake, Snickers, Hershey's, banana.
I don't care about milkshakes. I don't care about crappy chocolate.
Then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I don't even know what.
Angela could go
Okay, I'm gonna go.
whenever she feels like it.
But you're not letting me go. It doesn't count if you say I can go, but you're hanging on to me.
I am actually not hanging on to her. We're just using one set of headphones. She could just drop the headphones whenever she feels like, oh, she just did! And she almost dropped a mic. I don't care. She just screamed milkshake. If she was really cool, she would start singing the song about milkshakes, which we all know and love from the mid-2000s.
Fill up the bath with glass and cover your face in
Milkshake!
impossible feeling.
This long drone at the end. Well, I stole this droney idea from someone else. I guess it would be apparent by now that I steal a lot of ideas from other people, but who doesn't? Who doesn't? Except Jesus Christ. Except Abraham.
What?
Except Buddha. Except Kali. Except Muhammad. True originals. I wish you could be here right now. I have a shaker right now, but it's empty of beads. And Angela was shaking the shaker, but it's empty of beads. So she was just shaking this container, but it was empty. So she was just shaking an empty container. And no sound comes out of a shaken empty container. If you have a drinking glass and you shake it, nothing happens. If you have a nuclear reactor that's completely empty of nuclear rods or water, and you shake it, or if you get Godzilla to shake it, nothing happens.
You have to go. Oh, no, it's still going. Is it still going? Milkshake!
If you take a human woman who's not pregnant, and you shake her, nothing happens.
Yes, it does! She loses a baby. She loses a baby.
But if she's not pregnant, there's no baby.
You said she was a pregnant woman. But you just said it was a pregnant
I said she wasn't
woman.
pregnant.
If you shake a non-pregnant woman,
Nothing happens. She just gets annoyed.